Hey, well, it's Huck. And today is Wednesday. I believe it's just about 5 o'clock in the evening. And another, not terrific day. Now, I'm doing okay. But my friend and caregiver, Dustin, tested positive for COVID today. So we're not entirely sure, where he picked it up. Or exactly when, but last night we were watching a movie together here in the living room, and Dustin generally goes to bed pretty late at night. But he goes to bed, 11 o'clock or midnight, but he doesn't actually go to sleep usually till closer to maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. But yesterday, when this movie ended, I think it was about 11 p.m. He was starting to feel bad. He was having a headache, and I don't know. He said he felt like he had a head cold, but without like the sinus and the runny nose. At any rate, so this morning he woke up in time to give me my IV treatment, which I take around 10 a.m. And he said he was worried because he didn't feel any better. He had a slight sore throat, maybe, or tickling in the throat, bad headache. But he didn't have, some of the classic signs of the flu or even COVID. He could still taste things. He didn't have a fever. He didn't really have, a cough to speak of. At any rate, so I have a bunch of home COVID-19 tests, different brands of them. So he took 2 of them, and they both tested positive. Now, the good news is his symptoms are mild. His father came all masked up and took him home. He went directly to the hospital from here to get a bona fide PCR test at the hospital, just to be on the safe side. But it's looking like he's not going to be with me for at least another 5 days. And, when he can test negative 2 times in a row, even my transplant team seemed to suggest that he might be okay by Monday. CDC is now recommending about a 5-day quarantine. So that's what he's doing. Now, that complicates things for me dramatically, because up till now he's been giving me, because I couldn't reach it, I could not give myself my IV treatments. So he did give me mine this morning. And good news is I tested negative today. And so I will take that test again tomorrow, but I'm hoping I'll be okay. So I have a backup plan here, and that involves my neighbor Kelly. Kelly has volunteered to, be there whenever I needed her, and she has a brother, Larry, who has had juvenile diabetes, so he's had it all his life, and Larry's probably in his, I don't know, 40s now, 30s, late 30s, 40s. And so she's, he's had a lot of serious setbacks with his diabetes, and she knows all about giving injections and IVs and things. So I know how to give it, but the problem was, I don't have 2 hands to use. The IV line is on my upper arm, and I can't reach it with my one hand. So a nurse came out today and attached an extension so that if I had to give myself the treatment, theoretically I can do it now, because I can reach the extension with one hand and hold it while I screw the IV or the saline solution or the heparin. There's different steps you have to take as before, during, and after the actual hour-long treatment. So I'm covered on that. The more difficult things are going to be I start off in the morning where I have enough energy, I can get around and move around, and I can't be on my feet for very long. But it's getting, today I noticed I was a little bit stronger than I was yesterday. So it's gradual. But Friday, I've got to drive out to Geauga campus of University Hospitals, and I only need to take a blood test Friday. So I'm hoping I can drive out there and drive back. And once I get there, they do have a valet service, so they'll be able to get somebody, hopefully, to get me a wheelchair and wheel me in to get to the lab and back to my car. The more difficult thing is going to be a week from Friday, when I have to go up to Cleveland Hospital and run through the full gauntlet of things that I'm supposed to do. I have every confidence that Dustin will be better by then and be able to accompany me by then. But at any rate, so that's the big change. I found out that I was inadvertently taking twice as much as one medication as I was actually prescribed. And there was a miscommunication that I misinterpreted. They basically had doubled one medication, and I basically quadrupled it. And they're thinking it's going to take a week for that overdosing or whatever effect to get out of my system. And this is only maybe the second day that we've corrected it. So I'm still feeling a little under the weather. As the day goes on, I get a little weaker and a little less steady on my feet. So, Friday I'm going to be driving up there relatively early in the morning, like before 9. And I have to be back here around 10 or so. So, and it's about an hour drive. So I'll be getting up very early and I'll be coming back, relatively early. So I should be okay to do that on my own. I did drive back from Cleveland, I think the last time we were up there last week. And I drove to Cleveland in the morning and Dustin drove back. So I don't think I'll have to do that. Like I said, I don't go back up to Cleveland until next week, and I should be okay by then. Dustin should be able to help me. Anyway, so that's what's been going on here, and just thought I'd let you know about that change. But I will have to keep tabs on my, my COVID status here for the next day or two, since Dustin did come down with it. Now he does all the running around, so he's gone in and picked up takeout. He's gone to pick up the groceries at the grocery store. Usually we get them curbside, but he's gone to the grocery store to pick up a couple of individual items. And Saturday, on Christmas Eve, he did go back home to his dad's, where they had a lot of family, a lot of his brothers, sisters, a lot of his nieces and nephews, and there were 10 or 15 people there. So, any one of those could have been, where he picked this up. It looks like, as of now, fortunately, I didn't. Now, my COVID, the main medication that I take, the crucial medication that I take, that I'll take all my life at this point, is an anti-rejection medication called tacrolimus, or TAC for short. And I have to take it every morning around 9 a.m. and I take it every evening around 9 p.m. And they keep adjusting it. And for some reason, a lot of folks that go through a lung transplant end up having to take a lot of this early on. 2 or 3 milligrams in the morning, 2 or 3 milligrams, and there are 1 milligram capsules and there are half milligram capsules. But very early on, once they sent me home, my levels of this TAC in my blood work was always high. So they kept tapering it back and tapering it back. And so they've got me basically on a 1 milligram in the morning, 1 milligram at night. And that's what I've been on for most of this week. For some reason, I had blood taken yesterday, and the results came back that my TAC was significantly high. They want it to be in the 12, units per whatever, and it was like 22.7 or something. Way, way high. So they don't have me taking any TAC today, and then tomorrow they'll go back to the 1 and 1. And for that reason, they want me to come in Friday to get tested again. Otherwise, I wouldn't really normally be going back in until next week. But other than that, like I say, I feel a little better today. Certainly not 100%. But I was a little stronger this morning. I was able to stay on my feet a little longer, get a little bit more things done. It's just now that I'm starting to feel a little more weak, I guess. And that seems to be the way it's gone. By the time I go to bed at around 11 o'clock after my treatment, I'm less stable on my feet. I can get to my bed and, get to bed, but I don't have any interest in staying up watching anything at all. And I haven't been sleeping well, so I've been getting maybe 3.5 hours of sleep a night and waking up and trying to get back to sleep. But again, I think all of that is medication related. My transplant team, is cautiously optimistic that I'll be okay. So that's the update. I thank you for watching. One of these days I really want to talk about politics because I'm following all of that. I'm pretty active on social media with, I comment on things that other people post, that I subscribe to. But, but real life just keeps popping up all the time as far as my health is concerned. And anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do without Dustin around here. He has been a rock. And like I say, he's been, we've made a good team. So I'm eager to have him back. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen until at least Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to have to go through this weekend without him. But I've got the extension on my arm so I can give the treatments to myself. Kelly is willing to come over every morning and evening and help me with it. So I think I'm okay. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks a lot for, checking in. And I'll see you again, I promise, real soon.